Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Naima Bello here, and in this video we'll be taking a look at one more fundamental of C, which is variable, right? Variable in programming are very important and useful. So let's take a look at what the definition means before seeing it practically on the terminal. So in programming, variables are used to store and manage various type of data. Of course, we are going to be working with various kind of data in our program, right? Data like numbers, whole numbers, decimal numbers, characters, and series of characters, which are strings, which are called strings in programming. Now, when we declare a variable, memory space is allocated to hold that data. Variable act as a label for the data, making it convenient for us to work with and manipulate information within a program. They allow us to store and retrieve data from memory as required during program execution. What do we mean by this? Now, a computer is just like a baby. I have a file here called variable.c. So I'll go into it. Let me delete this exec first. Right, so I'm left with my variable. So I'll go into my variable.c. So like I was saying, a computer is just like a baby, right? You need to give it what to work with, the information, the kind of information you want it to work with, depending on the kind of program you're trying to write. So if I want to say I want to store the value 65 inside my computer memory, I can't do it. I can't just do it like this. Remember, there are rules to follow, right? So this is where variable come in. So the first thing we need to do when dealing with variable is we need to declare it. And how do we declare a variable? You give it the data type. That's you tell the data type will indicate the kind of data you're trying to work with and the amount of memory that should be allocated to that particular data, right? So in this case, I want to work with a number, a whole number to be specific. So I'll give it the int. We'll get to see more on data type. That's the integer, character, and the rest in subsequent video. So for now, let's focus on what we are the key point, which is variable. So I'll give it int, then the name of my variable. So you can name a variable whatsoever you want to name it, but please make it very descriptive. Like make the name refer to kind of data you're trying to store in it. So the num here is my variable name. So if I terminate this with a semicolon, the semicolon indicates that that is the end of one statement, right? So I can give a comment here to just further explain that, okay, this is me declaring a variable. The compiler or the system ignores a comment. This is a comment. It's just like an extra note, so it ignores it, right? So on the next line, this is me declaring it. Now, if I want to assign or give it the value, that is me initializing. So I'll use the equals to operator. So num equals to, now I can now store my value 65 into it. So this is me defining my variable, that is assigning a value to it. And how do we know that this value has been stored in the computer memory? We can simply use our printf function. We'll specify with this format specifier that we're trying to print out an integer type, right? The percentage specify that, okay, I'm dealing with the integer. That's the kind of data I'm trying to print out. And I simply call the name of my variable here, which is num. So if I save and quit this file and I compile my file, give it executable exec. So my exec executable should be back, right? So if I run this, the exec, I should get my value 65. So you can see the non-variable is now holding my value 65, right? So it's like a label. I want to get that value, so I need to refer to the variable in which I'm using as the container to store or hold that value. And of course, yes, we can reassign the value. So maybe at the point in my program, I decide that, okay, I don't want the value inside num to be 65. I want it to be, let's say, 200, right? So this is me reassigning. Let me give a comment here. So this is me reassigning my variable right? So if I print out num here, can we guess what will happen? If you say 200, yes, 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 you are right. So let's recompile because we made changes, right? So we need to recompile and rerun it. And there we go, 200. So variables are just like container used to store value in the system, in our computer or in our system memory. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see us in the next video.